All right, good morning, traders. Today is February 3rd, 2026. My name, Coach Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you for subscribing, following, liking my content. Appreciate that. Love that a lot. Special shout out to Bob Jordan, John Jordan, Kathy Sarah Roasted for sharing the content, helping get the good word out there to the World Wide Web. And a big, huge shout out to all my paying subscribers. You guys rock. I'm honored you guys chose me to lead you in your trading journey. All right, thank you. Try to provide actionable, profitable content every day. All right, let's drill down. Let's take a look at the market this morning. And before I get started, we got some announcements. First announcement is this Thursday, February 5th, members only e-learning, using your moving averages to your advantage, all right? So if you don't see me Thursday in the BYOB Trading Room, it's because I'm probably going to be in the combo room listening to the others perform a presentation on using moving averages. So Thursday I'll be in there probably from noon till 3 till Rick wraps up, and that's it. So you're going to get it probably about a 50, 60-minute presentation from Doug, one from myself, one from Rick. Again, this is for members only, and that's the advantage of being a member, all right? You get special webinars, special learning. So thank you to all my paying members. It's a way of paying you guys back. All right, so got one more announcement. Today, going to have a second day of the 2-day workshop of Road to Wealth. All right, if you're out there in, I'm going to say podcast land, video land. Okay, if you're seeing this video for the first time, you would take this QR code down here, scan it with your smartphone camera, and then a pop-up will appear. If you press the pop-up, that will open up a page in your browser to get registered. Once you have filled out the form, we will email you the credentials to get into the room as well as the directions on where to go. All right, now if you do not get an email, please check your spam folder. More than likely, almost 100% of the time, if you didn't get one in your email, it's going to be in your spam folder. So this is from the founder of Hit and Run Candlesticks, Rick Sadler. So it's a special workshop, second day of his 2-day workshop from 8:30 till 4. All right, so there's some free education in there if you're interested in picking up some free education, watching a professional trade. All right, let's drill down. Let's take a look at the markets. Okay, so my SPY pivot this morning, 692.90. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap. Over the 17, QQQ made an outside day. It's a higher high and a lower low, closing over a bullish trap. Over the 17 EMA, Diamond Dow, higher high, higher low, closing over a bullish cross over the 17 EMA. IWM, higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish trap over the 17 EMA. FNGU, higher high, higher low. You guys see a pattern here? Okay, closing under a bearish trap, under the falling 17. SPY closed with 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute downtrend. Silver made a lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17. Gold made a lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish cross under the 17. USO in an uptrend made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG, lower high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap and under the 17. UNG really sold off hard yesterday. All right, US dollar index in a daily downtrend and closed near the 97.54 area. SPY max paying for today, 695 with a put-to-call ratio of about 1.3 puts for each call that expires today at 4:15. Those index options expire at 4:15. Security options expire at 4. The main event for this week is most likely going to be This Friday is going to be the employment situation, and that'll be February 6th. All right, so the employment situation, I think that comes out at 8:30. If this is your first time seeing this page, all right, everything under the bulls column is in daily uptrends over the 17 EMA. Everything over here under the bears column are in daily downtrends under the 17 EMA. If they got a little star next to it, they're building out a launch pad or a bull flag from which to launch higher. If they got a little star next to it over here under the bears, they're building out a platform or a bear flag from which to dive lower. All right, let's take a look at the markets. All right, here's SPY. Let's take a look at it on 10 minute. All right, so on 10 minute, you can see you got the, let me give you the lay of the land, okay, right here. This is this burnt orange line right there. That is just regular VWAP, not anchored VWAP, just regular VWAP. The dots, those are the 17 EMA. When price is above that dot, it turns green. Price is below the dot or closes below the dot, it turns red, okay? So white line is the 8 EMA, yellow line is 3 EMA, okay? So when the 3, that'd be the faster moving average, is underneath the slower one, okay? That's the 8, okay? So we've got a 10-minute, we're on the 10-minute chart right here, see that? Okay, so we're on 10-minute chart, is underneath that. So we're in a 10-minute downtrend, okay, right there, coming into the close. See, pretty much we had a nice 10-minute uptrend. We traded this yesterday as price broke out over the pre-market range. We traded this 10-minute uptrend all the way up to the highs up here till about 2:30. We actually had a trend day. Trend day is when you got a 10-minute uptrend between the hours of 11 and noon. Okay, that's over VWAP. All right, so we had a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP, no pullbacks. Okay, no touching of VWAP. 10-minute uptrend over VWAP right here between 11 and noon. So it lasted, this 10-minute uptrend lasted till 2:30. Okay, so there's a 70% chance, all right, that the 10-minute uptrend, if it's up there over by noon, it's still up there, that it will last till 2:30. And then there's a 30% chance price closes at the high of day at the end of day. Okay, so notice we didn't get that part of it, but we did get the 2:30, and you can see right here at 2:30, well, 2:40. Okay, there's 2:30. That's the last candle closing up there over the 8 EMA right there. And then this one closes under, very next one. Okay, right at 2:30, 2:30 reversal time. Even sent out an announcement, tighten up your stops, coming into 2:30 reversal time. Shared it right here in the room. If you look at the chat from yesterday, be careful because probably pull back. And we did, all right? So there's SPY in the 10-minute chart. Let's take a look at the 2-hour chart. Okay, 2-hour chart. You get the candlesticks, and the 3 are up over the 8 EMA. That's the white line right there. Okay, so you got a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close yesterday. On the daily chart, we've got, you can see this would be the day before, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the flat 17 EMA, up near those all-time highs. Are going to back way out now, way out. Okay, this is our April low. See, month of April, this is our April low. This is the origin of this rally, okay? And you can see right here is our all-time high, right there, about about 4 trading days ago, okay? New all-time high on SPY, okay? So higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17. Okay, it's at the top of quadrant 4, okay? So that's anytime it's in the upper third, that's bullish, all right? And it hasn't broken any lows below the 17. So that's bullish, and then an uptrend right there on the SPY. On the weekly chart right here, see all the green dots? Still bullish, and then an uptrend. Monthly chart, still bullish, and then an uptrend, okay? So on counter trend trades, I'm not a big fan of going counter trend, okay? Especially on the first day it has a dip, okay? So not a big fan of trading counter trend, but if we do get a 10-minute downtrend, it is tradable today. For you guys that want to trade it, I probably won't trade it. I'll probably be buying the dip. All right, just to let you know. Okay, so and you don't have to buy the dip just because I'm buying the dip. Okay, but I like to buy the dip on the first on the pullbacks. All right, so we'll see what happens. So there's SPY on the monthly chart. Obviously, you see all the green dots in an uptrend. Let's take a look at the game plan. See if we can get through this rather quickly. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit and slide it over. Okay, and drag it down some and slide it over some. Okay, right here. Okay, so SPY pivot 692.90. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Red erases green underneath 689.45. Okay, that's red erases green under there. Green erases red over 696.90. Okay, you can see we're pretty much already over that. So that'd be a green erases red entry up there. All right, I trade 3 days and 10 days till expiration. Friday options on the multiple of 5, specifically for the open interest, which tends to equate to a tight bid-ask spread. I like it to be a penny wide. All right, I don't want a lot of slippage when I get stopped out. So that's why I trade the 3 DTE and the Friday options on the multiple of 5. I also trade 0 DTEs. Okay, I like the 0 DTEs. They give me a lot of action. First starting out, usually at the beginning of the month when I start a new account, I like to trade the 3s and the 10s. Days till expiration, just simply so that I got a little bit more time to fix what's going on those charts. Okay, I trade strikes that are $2 to $15 out of the money. All right, they tend to have less performance as the in the money options. All right, but I don't have as much capital tied up in as you would on an in the money option. You're going to get much better performance with an in the money option, and I'm willing to give up some of that performance just so it doesn't tie up as much of my capital or my trading risk that I plan to trade with for the day. Okay, I trade 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. I trade 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. If a 10-minute downtrend were to manifest up here, long before the red erases green entry or long before the pivot, I'm not opposed to trading it. I just like to see it break that bearish 10-minute rubber band candle. Same thing if there was an uptrend that happened to manifest down here, long before the green erases red entry, I would like to see it break the bullish 10-minute rubber band candle. In case you see one that happens to manifest and you see me trading 10-minute uptrend long before it gets to the green erases red or the pivot up here. All right, so that's the SPY game plan for this morning. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to look at the pre-market. See what I can do here to look at the pre-market. And, all right. So that's consolidation over consolidation. So my bias is bullish this morning, okay? I'm going to tell you I've had some bullish bias and the market goes down. Just a fair warning, okay? I've had some bearish bias and the market goes up, okay? So based on the consolidation, okay? So market's been a little tricky lately. But right now, yesterday was awesome. We hit that one right on the head. SPY, okay, I got a bullish bias because we're consolidating up over prior price action over here. All right, so I have a bullish bias. I'm looking to pick off the lows of the candles. It very well could do what it always does to me when I do that, which is just crater like it did here, like it did, I don't know, did it another day. Here too. Both days we had a bullish bias, and this day it cratered, this day it pulled back. So that's me. I'm going to be buying the lows and trying to pick off the lows of the option candles. Okay? I'm just saying, fair warning, it's not always a recipe for success. This is what it did to me the last time. This is what it did to me the last time. All right? But that's what I'll be doing again on today. Okay? Like I said, it's not always a recipe for success, but That's what I'll be doing this morning on the 10-minute chart right there. Okay, just fair warning. So if you want to follow me, here's an idea. Space them all out. Okay, all right. Plan for, I don't know, hour and a half. This was a 4 hour. You can see right there from the open till the FOMC announcement. Right there, that was almost a 4 hour dip right there. This was deeper dip, but it lasted less time. That was like a hour and a half dip. Okay, so don't get big. Don't get big real fast. Wait, then get one. Wait, then get one. Okay, just saying. You don't have to follow me, but that's what I'll be doing. Okay, on the SPY 10-minute chart. All right, so there's SPY on the 10-minute in the pre-market. My bias is bullish. I'll be picking off the lows of 10-minute candles. My favorite trade, all right, it's 10-minute uptrend over VWAP that resides inside 2-hour uptrend. That resides inside the daily uptrend, inside the weekly uptrend, inside the monthly uptrend. Yesterday we had that. That was my favorite trade. Okay, so that's my favorite trade. A beautiful trade yesterday. Nice, made money, did well. A couple people made some daily goals. Love it. All right, so there's SPY, and we do have a 2-hour. You can see the 2-hour uptrend, and we still have a daily uptrend, a weekly uptrend. All right, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ's got a game plan as well. All right, and we'll take a peek at that. All right, here's QQQ, and let's move over here and spread that out. QQQ pivot 624.30 above it. I'm a bull, below it I'm a bear. Green erases red over 628.40. Red erases green underneath 620. All right, same thing on QQQ. I trade 3 days and 10 days till expiration. Friday options, specifically the Friday. All right, that's what it's all about. It's the Friday on the multiple of 5 because I'm looking for high open interest. All right, I want to like a tight bid-ask spread, and I don't want a lot of slippage when I get stopped out. I like the strikes. Same thing, $2 to $15 out of the money. Again, specifically for the low price point. My preferred price point is sweet spot for me is 30 cents all the way on up to $1.20. Any higher than that, then they start tying up too much of my risk capital. All right, and then I just have to roll them out. Okay, so I'll roll up higher or roll down lower, depending upon if it's a put or a call. If it's a call, I roll up higher. If it's a put, I roll down lower. Okay, so then they tend to get cheaper down there, and then I can afford it with my risk, and that's where I like to trade. Okay, I trade 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. Same thing, trade 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. Let's look at the QQQ on the game plan here. 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. All right, 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. Daily candle. Looks like an outside day, higher high, lower low. Closing over bullish trap, over the 17 EMA. Top of quadrant 4. Okay. There's the April low. That's bullish. And then an uptrend on the daily chart. Weekly chart. See all the green dots? Still bullish. And then an uptrend. Monthly chart. Bullish. And then an uptrend on QQQ. Same thing on QQQ, favorite trade, 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. What is a 10-minute uptrend? It's a good question. All right, see the 3, the yellow line is pointed up. The 8 is pointed up. The sticks and the 3 are over the 8 EMA. Okay, and see the VWAP line pointed up. Everything pointed up. Okay, that's 10-minute uptrend. See where the sticks and the 3 are riding up on top of the 8. That is a 10-minute uptrend right there. So I like 10-minute uptrend over VWAP that resides inside a 2-hour uptrend that lives inside the daily uptrend, inside the weekly uptrend, inside the monthly uptrend. That's my favorite trade. And especially when it's over, see this pink line right here? This all-time high anchored VWAP. That's my favorite trade. QQQ. All right, let's take a look at IWM. All right, IWM on the daily chart. Let's take a look here. All right, the low there is 57.94. The low there is 58. So higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish trap over the 17 EMA in the middle of quadrant 4 right here. Here's our April low. This is the origin of the rally. Okay, so it is bullish. It's in the upper third and in an uptrend on IWM, Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Higher low, higher high. Closing over, bullish cross over the 17. See the dots? We're over the 17. Top of quadrant 4. See, especially like when they move up and hold the higher ground. See this move right here where price moves up and holds the higher ground? Okay, if your stock is doing this, it's going up and coming back, that's not a sign of strength. This is a sign of strength, moving up and holding the higher ground. All right, that is building out a launch pad, and it looks like it wants to launch higher. It's not 100% guaranteed it launches higher, but that is a sign of strength to hold this higher ground up here for this long period of time. Okay, so there's Diamond Dow on the daily chart. Okay, obviously here's the April low. That's the origin of the rally. That's bullish and in an uptrend right there. Okay, let's take a look at Stinker. All right, Stinker puts in a higher low, higher high, closing under a bearish trap. See, the 3 is under the 8. Under the falling 17. Under the pink line, that's the all-time high, anchored VWAP. See this line right here? That would be the upper third. It's not in the upper third. So it's neutral and still in a downtrend because it keeps making lower highs and lower lows. So there's Stinker. No help for us. Not much help for us. We'll see. They've made a higher low here. All right, we'll see. Can the bulls get inspired to make a higher high? That would be nice. All right, doesn't look like it's happening yet, though. That's a Stinker for us. Let's take a look at SLV. All right, so SLV, lower high, lower low. Closing under bearish cross. See the cross right there? Or bearish trap. Underneath the 17, see the dots? Went from green to red. Underneath the 17 EMA. No longer in the upper third, but still bullish. Still in an uptrend. Okay, so it's neutral, but in an uptrend. All right, because they haven't broken any lows yet. So neutral and an uptrend for silver. Gold. Lower high, lower low. Closing underneath bearish cross. Okay, see the cross, the 3 crosses under the 8 there. Under the 17 EMA, see the dot turns to red right there, under the 17. Up here in the upper third, so that's bullish, all right? And it hasn't broken any lows yet. That would be the first low right there. So it's still in an uptrend. So still bullish and in an uptrend up here in quadrant 4. That's gold on the daily charts. Take a look at UNG. All right, UNG, lower high, lower low, closing under the bullish trap. That hasn't crossed over yet. Under the bullish trap, under the rising 17. Down here in quadrant 1, let me zoom way out. This is our 12-month high anchored VWAP right there. Okay, so you can see price closes under the 17. We're in quadrant 1, so this is bearish down here and still in an uptrend. All right, hasn't broken any lows. This is the first low to come to that it needs to break. Okay, so there's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. USO, lower high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap, but over the rising 17 and over this 4-year high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. Okay, we're not in the upper third. Okay, this would be the upper third above the crosshairs. All right, so it's neutral and still in an uptrend. Okay, that's USO. All right, let's take a look at technicals, T2101. All right, market went up yesterday, and look at this. You substitute absolute breadth to for the word participation, losing participation. Not a good sign. That's a bearish sign. You want to see bulls get behind moves up, not interested. Okay, so that's a bearish sign right there. We could be heading into a market top here after the next high. We'll see what happens. Who knows if we even get another higher high in the market. Okay, so there's T21. So be careful out there. All right. See, the participation just keeps dipping day by day, even while price rallies. Usually, when price rallies, you want more participation, people to pile on. Okay, not back off. Okay, that's T2101, T2122. Nice work on the bulls. They carried the ball out of the seller's chop zone into the buyer's chop zone and camped out all day, producing on the 15-minute chart, a little micro bearish head and shoulders pattern. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. That's T2122. All the while hovering up here near the buy zone. Okay, so that's T2122. T2123 puts in a new all-time high yesterday. Okay, so obviously bullish and in an uptrend up over the rising 200 SMA. Again, bullish and in an uptrend. 3-bar chart, same product. All right, so you can see price, new all-time high, so bullish. See how it goes up and holds the higher ground. See, this is what happens when price moves up, and see the hold right here, and then you get a launch. That's a launch pad or a bull flag. You get a launch up higher, okay? When they go up and give it up, okay, not the same. All right? Nice. Okay, so new all-time high yesterday, T2123. All right, that's the 3-bar chart. All right, let's take a look at FNGU or Stinker on the 15. Stinker on the 15 is in an uptrend because they made a high here and they made a higher high, and they have not yet made a lower low, so they're still in an uptrend, but they're trapped underneath this falling 200 SMA, and they're underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP right there. So still nothing impressive yet, okay, other than the fact they held an uptrend. That's about it. That's on Stinker on the 15-minute chart. All right, take a look at the economic package. All right, I just want to point out that the main event on the economic calendar is going to be Friday, and that's going to be the employment situation, and that's at 8:30 on Friday. Today, what do we got for today? All right, we've got motor vehicle sales. That usually comes out at 7. JOLTS, I guess that's a delayed report. That's going to come out at 10. Light day today. Tomorrow, what do we got? MBA mortgage applications is 7. ADP employment report, 8:15. Treasury refunding, 8:30. PMI composite final, 9:45. ISM services, 10 o'clock. Petroleum report, 10:30. You notice they've now added the rig count back into the mix. All right, so, the employment situation is a delayed report. All right, so it's not going to be as powerful as a regular one. All right, because that was going to be my main event. I don't know why they given us the delayed report. Usually the first of the month they give us the regular report. Maybe that's coming out next Friday. Not sure why they're giving us the delayed report. Normally you get the employment situation at the beginning of the month, but not the delayed report. So this is a prior month. All right, so that's it. I'm not going to cover any more on the economic calendar. Earnings reports. Okay, so today is Tuesday. Yesterday, Palantir reported earnings, while Disney reported earnings. Tuesday, we got Advanced Micro. Okay, we're in the middle of it, like a kind of like an AI boom. Okay, not a bubble, but a boom. All right, so we've got AMD. So all eyes are going to be on NVIDIA, Intel, Micron Semiconductors, AMD. All right, because we are in this AI, and any one of these reporting bad could just cause the market to dip. just one of them. The chips, this is all about technology. Okay, so anytime one of these tech giants does bad, market takes it really hard. Okay, market is very heavily tech influenced. So tonight, AMD is going to report. Looks like $385 billion. Okay, so keep an eye on that tonight. If that does well, I imagine Intel will do well as well. Merck and Company, $273 billion. They're going to report this morning. Mitsubishi Financial, they're going to report, I don't know, sometime today, maybe. We'll see. PepsiCo going to report sometime today. $210 billion. Mitsubishi Financial, $214 billion. Amgen, $184 billion. Pfizer, $150 billion. Eaton Corporation, $136 billion. Chubb International, $121 billion. And then some more familiar names, but nothing market moving. This one will be the market mover right here, AMD. All eyes will be on AMD because that is the chip space. Nothing technology exists without semiconductors and graphics chips. That's what this guy produces right here. Okay? You can't even have a Google without an AMD. All right? And there's probably no need for an AMD without a Google. All right? But someone will definitely create it. Anyways, okay, you can't have a Google without the semiconductors that enable all of this data to be processed and presented on a screen in front of you that you're looking at right now. Okay, so tomorrow, Alphabet's going to report. Okay, $8 trillion. That's definitely a market mover, people. All right, that's going to happen Wednesday night. That will definitely move the markets. Eli Lilly, even though it's almost $1 trillion, will be overshadowed by whatever happens with Google. Okay, AbbVie, $394 billion. Again, will be overshadowed by Google. Anyways, Eli Lilly comes out in the morning, so they're different times. But still, people will never remember what happened with Eli Lilly. They'll be looking at Google because it's such a huge market cap inside QQQ and SPY, and it's weighted. So, and then you've got Toyota Motor. It's going to report tomorrow sometime. Novartis, $292 billion tomorrow in the morning. Novo Nordisk, 265. I can't even see. 265 billion. Again, tomorrow morning. Banco Santander, 214 billion. Uber Technologies looks like 166 billion dollars, and Qualcomm, 160. I think that's 161 billion dollars. The rest of them are all just familiar names, all right, but not really market movers. They will definitely help out their sectors. Okay. So that's it. I'll see you guys in about 20 minutes. Let me get this video out there to the rest of the world, all right, so that they can enjoy it. All right, I'll see you guys, and thank you, traders. Thank you so much.